adventurous group, never afraid to step out and do hard things. He was a man determined to explore and could not be held back by anything, not even girls. Jim was once quoted telling a friend,
"Domesticated males aren't much use for adventure."
In 1945, Jim traveled to Wheaton, Illinois to attend Wheaton College. His main goal while there was to devote himself fully to God. He recognized the importance of discipline in pursuing this goal. He would start each morning with prayer and Bible study, and in his journal he wrote,
"None of this ever gets to be old stuff, for it is Christ in print, the living Word. We wouldn't think of rising in the morning without a face wash, but we often neglect the purgative cleansing of the Word of the Lord. It wakes us up to our responsibility. So wherever you are, be all there. Live to the hilt every situation you believe to be the will of God."
Jim's desire to serve God by taking his gospel to unreached people of the world began to grow while at Wheaton. The summer of 1947 found him in Mexico, and his time there influenced his decision to minister in Central America after he finished college. Jim met Elizabeth Howard during his third year at Wheaton. They spent the next years as friends and continued to correspond, but Jim felt he needed to be fully surrounded by worldly concerns in order to devote himself completely to God. They agreed that they were attracted to each other. But not being convinced of God's leading, and feeling that the Lord may have been calling them to be unmarried as they served Him, they did not immediately pursue a relationship. Within some time, however, he asked her for a date, and she accepted.
That's cute.
In February 1952, Jim finally left America to travel to Ecuador, with Elizabeth joining him soon after. In August, Jim left Elizabeth in Quito and travelled with his friend and pilot, Nate Saint, and a small team of missionaries to learn more about the Waodani Indians, a people group that was largely unreached and very savage. Both felt very strongly that this was exactly where God intended them to spread the gospel. In January of 1953, Jim returned to Elizabeth, and they were finally engaged. They married in October of that year, and their only child, Valerie, was born in 1955. It was Jim's desire to be able to reach the Waodani tribe that lived deep in the jungles and had little contact with the outside world. Over time and careful planning, Jim and Nate came up with a way to lower a bucket filled with supplies to people on the ground while flying above them. He thought this would be a perfect way to win the trust of the Waodanis without putting anyone in danger. So they began dropping presents to them. They also used an amplifier to speak out friendly Waodani phrases.
"I should have bought a Honda, but I bought a Mitsubishi."
After many months, the Waodanis even sent a gift back up in the bucket to the plane. After a few days, Jim and Nate felt the time had come to meet the Waodanis face to face. So while flying over Waodani territory, Nate spotted a beach that looked long enough to land the plane on, and he dropped each missionary off one by one before landing. They then set about building a treehouse to stay safe in until friendly contact could be made. Jim and Nate finally met the Wadoni tribe. However, after this meeting, one of the natives lied to the rest of the tribe about the men's intentions. This lie led the Wadoni warriors to plan an attack. On day 6 of their mission, 2 Wadoni women walked out of the jungle onto the beach. Jim and Nate excitedly made their way over to them, but as they got closer, the men realized that these women did not appear friendly. As they reached the women, they saw a group of Wadoni warriors in the trees with their spears raised and ready to throw. Jim reached for the gun in his pocket.
Greater love hath no man. Greater love hath no man. I wonder what this would look like. What I would think about if this time came. Think about my wife Elizabeth, my daughter Valerie. We agreed beforehand that we wouldn't use this gun to defend ourselves against the Wadani, because they don't yet know our wonderful Lord Jesus. I feel him saying, greater love hath no man, that he laid down his life for his friends. The Wadani aren't my friends yet, but they're going to be my brothers and sisters one day. To live is Christ, to die is gain. He is no fool who gives up what he cannot keep in order to gain what he cannot lose.
Within seconds, the Wadoni warriors threw their spears, killing the missionaries.
The same day, Jim's wife, Elizabeth, waited by the two-way radio to hear the men discuss how things had gone that day. But there was no call. As evening turned to night, she became worried. As time continued to pass, she knew the news was not good. When they received the news, Elizabeth, Valerie, and Nate's sister Rachel were gathered together. But this was not the end of the story.
Father, please help me. What am I supposed to do now? I can't let their death be in vain. Jesus, I won't let your death be in vain. Please, you have to help me. You have to help me forgive. Please give us the strength to return and finish the work and bring the Wadani into our family, Lord. Help us. Take us back. For I know this one thing for sure. God's story never ends in ashes. I have decided to follow Jesus. I have decided to follow Jesus. I have decided to follow Jesus. No turning back. No turning back.
For the Wadoni people, the crime of murder was punishable by death. Knowing their guilt, they offered the family their right to avenge Jim and Nate's death. Instead, the family laid down their rights and extended forgiveness and grace. Never had such a response been seen in the tribe. This radical act of mercy shocked the Wadonis and finally allowed them to open their hearts to the love of a merciful God.
So when we were preparing this, God spoke the same thing to a couple of us at different times. And I think their story, Jim and Nate's story, and Elizabeth and Valerie, they going back, we just kept thinking over and over again, like what they're... What was their family thinking, you know? When Jim wanted to go the first time, and then when Elizabeth said, I'm going to go back, and her husband was just killed, and she said, I'm just going to keep going. You know, I'm just going to keep following Jesus. And I know that resonated with some of us, because when we were coming here, our families were like, you're going to take your kids to Africa? You're nuts. Leave the kids here. Y'all shouldn't go. That's crazy. Do you know what's going on in the world? And just tough times with family, and we've seen that throughout our little family camp. So we really felt encouraged just to pray. If you've had a tough time with your family, just getting ready to leave, or just cultivating this lifestyle of leaving, just keep on following Jesus, and your family's like, no, that's crazy, you shouldn't do that, then we would love just to pray for you real quick. If you want to stand, if that's you. Yeah, all you brothers and sisters, y'all get up around them and just lay hands on everybody that's close to you. And we're just going to pray and bless them. That I feel like the word for this school is, and the word for my family is the same way that he got you, he's going to get them. The same way that Jesus got you and he brought you to Africa, he's going to get your family too. As long as there's breath in their lungs, there is hope. So Jesus, I just lift up everybody that stood up to you, God. I just lift them up to you, Father. I lift their families up to you, God. You see them, God. And you know them, and you love them. So I pray that you just bring just more love into all the students, the staff, just everybody, just help them to love their family better, God. Not to get frustrated, God, but just to love more like you, Jesus. Help us to love more and more and more. And touch their families, God. We lift them up to you. We just ask you to help, God, and to save, Lord. We bless you, Jesus. Thank you for bringing here, God. Thank you for bringing us here. Holy Spirit, just go right now and start touching family members, God. If they're at home sleeping,